Would you like a story about the Easter Bunny?
Yeah!
Would you? Well, once upon a time, the Easter Bunny was going to come down and bring candy to all the kids on Easter, and eggs that were all decorated and painted and presents and everything. But you know what?
What?
The Easter Bunny lived way, way, way high up in the sky. And
outer space?
Well, sort of like in outer space. And where he lived, just before Easter, a magical bridge came all the way down from where he lived, all the way down to where we are. And the night before Easter, he would hop, hop, hop down the bridge and come down to bring all presents and candy and everything to kids.
Well, did he wreck on his head?
No, you know what happened one time?
What?
He saw the magical bridge. It appeared in his land on the night before Easter, and he started to go over to the bridge when he saw something sticking out from under the bridge. And do you know what it was?
No!
It was the tail of old Mr. Fox, who was hiding under the bridge, ready to pounce on Easter Bunny and eat him up for supper. Old Mr. Fox was under the bridge.
Why?
'Cause he wanted to eat Mr. Easter Bunny right up and have him for supper. So Easter Bunny said, I can't go down the bridge. I can't go down the bridge because old Mr. Fox will jump out and pounce on me and eat me up. And I can't go down the bridge to bring all the candy to kids. And you know what happened? A big turtle, old Mr. Turtle, came walking along and he said, Hello there, Easter Bunny. Why are you waiting before going down the bridge to bring candy to all the kids? And Easter Bunny said, Old Mr. Fox is under the bridge, and he's going to eat me up if I go down the bridge. And the turtle said, Well now, Easter Bunny, let me see if I can help you. And so old Mr. Turtle went right over to the bridge, and he climbed up on the bridge, and he said, I see a very handsome tail of a fox sticking up, and it's the prettiest tail I've ever seen. And old Mr. Fox liked his tail very much. He was very proud of his tail. So you know what he did?
What?
He stuck it up more, up along the side of the bridge. He was hiding under the bridge. He thought to himself, well, somebody really likes my tail, so I'm going to put it up there so they can admire it. And do you know what happened?
What?
Mr. Turtle looked over at that tail, and he grabbed it in his beak, and he started shaking it hard. And do you know what happened?
What?
Old Mr. Fox said, Yeah, that hurts. And then do you know what happened? When Mr. Turtle shook his head, Mr. Fox under the bridge went bonk, 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 bonk. Because his head was bouncing under the bridge. Bonkety, bonkety, bonk, bonk, bonk. And he kept saying, let go, my head is bonking on the bridge. And finally, Mr. Turtle
Was he going
opened
like this? Bing, bing, bing,
Yep,
bing, bing.
he was. And Mr. Turtle opened his beak, and Mr. Fox pulled his tail down under the bridge, and he said, Ow! And he ran away through the forest to his house. And Mr. Turtle said, "Okay, Easter Bunny, you can go down the bridge and bring candy to all the kids on Easter tomorrow."
Yeah, but is there chocolate in the eggs?
There was chocolate in the eggs. And do you know what? That was the best Easter that all the kids ever had.
I'll do the red car one.
And that is the end of the story.
I want to do the red car one.
The which one?
The race car one.
The race car one?
I like McQueen.
I don't have one about race cars. I don't do kind of race car ones, but you know what? Do you remember the stories I told you last time?
Yeah.
What was it about?
Bee.
About a bee?
I'm
And did you hear the elephant story?
No.
Well, I am going to tell you, let me think. Somebody said they wanted a story about an elephant.
I do.
You do? Okay. I am going to tell you a story about an elephant whose name was James. Well, once upon a time, there was a rather large elephant who lived in the forest, and his name was James. Now, in the forest, there was a mean lion. He was a lion who liked to eat little animals all up for supper. And in the jungle, there was a very nice monkey. And the monkey's name was Albert. And one day, the monkey was playing around down on the ground, and the elephant was in the river beside where the monkey was playing. And all of a sudden, do you know what happened?
What?
The big mean lion came up, and he was ready to pounce on the monkey and eat him up. And yep, pounce right on him. And you know what that elephant did?
What?
He put a lot of water in his big trunk, and he sprayed water all over the lion.
Like this?
That's right. And you know what? Lions are just like kitty cats, and they hate water. And you know what he did? He went, "Oh, I'm all wet." And he ran away through the forest, and he did not pounce on that little monkey and eat him up. And that is the end of the story.
Please read it again.
Again? Another one? Do you want to have another one?
No, I want to read the same one.
That same one?
No, I want to read the bee one.
About the bee? Do you remember the bee named Little Sting?
Yay!
Do you remember that? Well, once upon a time, in the forest, there lived a little baby bee whose name was Little Sting. And he lived up in a tree with his mommy and daddy. And every day, Little Sting would fly out in the forest looking for pretty flowers. And he would crawl down in the flowers and get something to eat. Well, one day, Little Sting was flying around, and his wings got tired. And so he landed on a log. And he was walking around on the log, and his wings were feeling much better. And do you know what happened?
A bear jumped out.
A little baby bear came along and sat down on the log, right on Little Sting. And his fur covered Little Sting all up, so Little Sting couldn't see the sky and the clouds and the trees. And it was all dark under that baby's fur.
Did he say, why is it all dark in here?
He said, why is it all dark in here now? I can't see anything. And do you know what he did? He stood on his head and he pointed his stinger straight up and pushed as hard as he could. And do you know what happened? He stung that baby bear right in his behind. And you know what the baby bear did? The baby bear went, yee, yee, yow! That hurts! And he jumped up and ran away through the forest to find his mommy and daddy. That's right. And do you know what little Sting did?
What?
He said, oh, I can see everything. It's not dark anymore. And he flew away to find his mommy and daddy and tell them all about it.
He couldn't breathe when the bear was sitting on him.
It was hard to breathe and he couldn't see anything. And that is the end of the story. Did you like that story?
Yeah!
Did you like it? What?
A spider story.
A what's the story?
A spider.
Spider story? Do you want that spider story?
Yeah.
With the little ant and the spider? Well, once upon a time, there was a little ant whose name was Robert. And he was walking along the forest one day, and he heard, help, help, help. And he looked over, and there was a beautiful butterfly. And a stick had fallen on one of the butterfly's wings, and she couldn't fly. And she was saying, help me, help me. Because do you know what?
What about little spider?
There was a spider coming to eat her up. And coming closer and closer. And the butterfly was saying, help me, help me. And the little ant ran over, and ants are quite strong. And he pushed on that stick, and he pushed on that stick, and he pushed on that stick, and he lifted it right off her wing.
Like this?
That's right. And he pushed the stick up, and her wing was free, and she could fly away. And the stick fell over and bonked that spider right on his head.
Bonk, bonk.
It bonked, bonk like that other bonk, bonk. And that spider said, ow, 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 that hurts my head. And he ran away.
Did he go like...
That's right. And that is the end of the story. You guys like a lot of stories.
Listen, Marie.
I think maybe it's time now that you guys have got to go and do some other stuff. Would you like another story sometime? Would you?
Yeah.
Do you like the stories?
Yeah.
What do you? No, yes, you do. I know you do. You like them, don't you? I think sometime we might have to tell you a story about a very tall giraffe whose name was Fred. But I'll tell you that the next time if you guys can remember to remind me about the story about Fred the giraffe.